Bang! Let's go! It's a Tuesday, and in 2 days, we will get Thursday night tackle football in the form of LSU practice. I don't care about the NFL Hall of Fame game, but I'm really excited that on Thursday, we will be getting actual football. LSU will actually be putting on, actual, stuff like LSU issued stuff. So enough with all the workout footage, enough with all the recruiting, enough with all of that. Folks, we are so close. You can taste it. You can feel it. You can see it. Saturday night in Death Valley. I'm looking at you right now. Or should I say Sunday night in the Dome? Let's go. So, first thing I want to talk about, obviously, is the big news. And it is a recruiting story. And I promise you, we're going to talk a lot of current LSU stuff. I know some of you just don't like recruiting. But the Ricky Collins story is huge. More so because of the position he plays. Quarterback just outweighs all the other positions. Shelton Sampson, obviously, is what our main focus is on Saturday night. We'll see what he decides to do. Or Saturday afternoon. And then on Saturday night, we'll have a live stream. But the truth here is anytime a quarterback does anything, it is more important than any other position on the team. And last night, we got breaking news that Ricky Collins has decided to reopen his recruitment. Okay? So, the poll question tonight, which quarterback, because Ricky Collins is about to commit to LSU, which quarterback has the brightest future? Is it Garrett Nussmeier? Is it Walker Howard? Is it Ricky Collins? But this was a message that I got from a lot of you last night. Well, Carter, what about the feelings of Walker Howard? How does Garrett Nussmeier feel about this? How does DJ Lagway, a 2024 five-star quarterback, feel about this development? Number one, they probably don't really care because they know in big-time college football, if you go to a big Power 5 school, they're going to get the best players at every position. So at every position, you have to know, especially at quarterback, where only one plays, that every year that the best schools are going to make sure that they are stocked up at the game's most important position. So the first thing is, while I like all those other quarterbacks I mentioned, and Lagway is really special, first thing is they probably don't care. But the second thing is you shouldn't care either. Ultimately, the quarterback position is hard to evaluate. I had a private call with the patron a minute ago, William. And, we've been doing this with different Patreons or different patrons. And William and I were talking about this. He has a family member who went to NC State. Okay, if you look at NC State and you look at LSU, you're like, oh my God. I mean, both schools, it's not even close when it comes to, stars that both schools have produced. But NC State has had more Pro Bowl quarterbacks over the past 25 years than LSU's produced. Why is that? Well, it's because quarterback is random. You don't know. You don't know if Garrett Nussmeier, Walker Howard, or DJ Lagway is going to be good. You just don't. You just don't. Now, I think all three of them are going to be good. I do. I really do. I like all three of them. They all have three different sets of skills. I don't know what's going to happen to DJ Lagway's recruitment. You control your own destiny in many ways. In many ways, you don't. But the truth is, when it comes to the quarterback position, feelings have to be stripped. And when it comes to any position, that's how it is, right? Do you think the Indianapolis Colts like what they did to Peyton Manning for Andrew Luck? I don't think that they did. But the truth is, never worry about what other players feel. Because number one, they probably really don't care. They know that if you're at a big Power 5 school, there's going to be competition. And number two, it doesn't matter. right? Now, Ricky Collins isn't going to be nearly the same level of recruit as Walker Howard is. And I do see him creeping in to maybe the top 100 on all services because he is an extremely high upside quarterback. Now, there's some things mechanically that need to get worked out. But the truth is, he is a multi sport athlete who, honestly, I don't think has ever really just focused in on quarterbacking, right? Whereas a lot of other quarterbacks, say Dante Moore, every day, quarterback, every day. I don't know if he plays basketball or not, but he's had a private quarterback coach since 8th grade. So Ricky Collins is far from a finished project, far. And I look at him and I see that he played Catholic High. And yes, Woodlawn is really talented. They've had other really good recruits on there. But the truth is, Ricky Collins won that game for him. It was a team effort, but he went out there and had a gutsy win against a better team. Catholic is a better team than Woodlawn. The guy is a baller. That's all there is to it. And you should be ecstatic, and you shouldn't worry about any other quarterbacks at this point. You don't know what other quarterbacks are going to do. I know some of you probably feel some type of way about LSU not finding a way to get Dante Moore because he does look like he is a real deal. But the truth is, you got one, and you should be very lucky when Ricky Collins does commit to LSU that we're getting a quarterback who is willing to not go to Purdue, where the room is going to be more wide open, and decide he's going to come to LSU and compete for the job in 2024. Give Joe Sloan a lot of credit. And look, it's not done. I am not counting out a few other schools here. I think the only other school at this point would be Florida State. They have no quarterbacks committed, and that's the only school that, Ricky has really, looked into. Outside of LSU, a few others, obviously. But LSU is going to land this recruit, and it's going to be huge. Anytime you get a commitment from the quarterback position, it's huge, whether it's a transfer or a high school player. So that is my opening remarks for this evening. It's amazing. I think at least 3 of you DM'd me about, well, how do you feel about Walker Howard? How does Walker Howard feel about this? My opinion about Walker Howard hasn't changed. Walker Howard's opinion about himself hasn't changed. Walker Howard's opinion about the quarterback room hasn't changed either. Okay? So we say hi to Rick. We say hi to Skipper. We say hi to Jordan. We say hi to Spencer. Hey, Red, Mick, Pettis, Elton, Chance, Chillmonger. See, Chillmonger and I, we think a lot alike, right? Hey, Lon, good to see you. Ooh, we got some Will Anderson discussion. It's interesting. Will Anderson didn't. He still had a good game against us, so we still struggled to block him some. Rob G, good to see you. One of my closest buds. Gotta love it. Golden Boot. Rob is one of the biggest Walker Howard fans on this channel. Everyone, welcome Rodney to the channel. Rodney, I think you have been on here before. Let me know. Golden Boot, good to see you. Golden Boot had our buddy Sean Fox on not too long ago. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the Ant-Man. There he is, Marcus. What's good? I knew Tevin was good. When there's recruiting, Tevin's going to be here. Tevin's going to be here. Let's go to Mick's question. Mick's always in the chat early. Is it better for a second-tier quarterback to take a chance at starting for LSU, or better to go to a second-tier program and start from the get-go? It's impossible to say. It's honestly impossible to say, okay? And the reason why is because you never know what any quarterback battle is going to be like. Because look at it this way, right? If you're Ricky Collins and you go to LSU, you know for sure that you have 5 years to figure this thing out, okay? And there is some kind of likelihood that Garrett Nussmeier and Walker Howard, one of them could depart. So immediately you become the top backup. That's if Jayden Daniels only plays 1 year here, okay? It's just too hard to say. It's just too hard to say. It's honestly impossible to know because there's so many things that have to happen. Okay. Uh, this was some, we're discussing in the Discord. Um, and we had a long discussion about this in the Discord today, patreon.com/LSU football. Uh, I think Ricky Collins is the best quarterback in Louisiana. And this isn't just me saying this. I've said it on this show, said it on Blake's show, said it on 104.5 ESPN. You'd probably have to dig it up somewhere. I've always been really high on Ricky Collins. It's part of the reason why some people close to him started watching our channel. Okay. I'm not the only one. I'm not. But, I've been honest. There's some things mechanically that he needs to work on. And obviously, I think the biggest thing for him, and obviously Joe Sloan knows way more about this than I do, this takes a while for anyone to get used to, but the release, right? It's a little elongated. You don't see the ball come out as quickly as you would like to see it at times. But the truth is, everything else is pretty daggum good. It honestly is. I see a lot of grittiness. I really do. That Catholic High game really changed a lot of my opinions about him, because if you put a team on your back and you beat a better team, that shows me something, right? Walker Howard, I've talked about this game, the Neville game, did that. Ricky Collins has really, really good arm strength. Now, it's not a Mahomes howitzer or a Herbert or an Allen kind of arm, but it's really good. He's got a really, really, really live arm. And once he figures it out, he's going to be really good. I have a tough time believing that Ricky Collins isn't a factor somewhere at this point in his career. I have big belief in him. I really do. And once again, we'll see what happens. Hopefully he picks LSU. If you decommit right after an amazing recruiting weekend, heard some powerful people were very involved in getting this going in the right direction. And that's obviously really good because they recognize it. They see it. And honestly, and this is a sad truth about quarterbacking, there's so many different factors that happens to so many really talented quarterbacks. So as always, I want to shout out Jared for always showing support. And Jared, I know you're a go with the flow guy. You never really have any questions. So if you do have a question, if you don't just want to talk recruiting, I know Jared's not a huge recruiting guy, so we'll get into some other topics here. Feel free to super chat if you want to keep the conversation about Ricky Collins going. I've shared what I've liked. I've shared what I think, he should work on. And the bottom line is this is a major, major week of recruiting for LSU. And you can make a strong case that this week is going to be just as important as that defensive line weekend, right? You're getting big time offensive pieces for the future. Okay. Ricky Collins, Shelton Sampson, hopefully on Saturday, and then Colin Jackson on Monday. A lot of you know how I feel about Colin Jackson. You guys know I'm very honest in my evaluations. I was very impressed. Very, very, very impressed. Let's go to Rob G Super Chat. Thanks again, Rob and Jared, both patrons. I love you. I think Miles will play the first game just because of maturity and listening to the coaches. Next couple of games, Jayden and Nuss will be given an opportunity. Now, if Miles lets the wide receiver shines, others might not get a chance. And that's the thing. For me, I think Miles is actually still going to get the first snap. It's just a gut feeling. Now, it is interesting. Jared has brought this up about quarterback battles in the past, that it is just always so wide open. Jared and I have talked about it, before. And Jordan knows this as well, that the Vegas odds show Jayden Daniels as the only one for has Heisman Trophy odds. Okay. So shout out to you, Rob G. Thank you for the generous super chat. And for me, look at Chillmonger. I love it, man. Chillmonger and I promise you, Somewhere along the line, we're related. He and I just agree on so many different things. I love it. Now, if Miles lets the wide receiver shine, others might not get a chance. Yeah, it's the thing. If you get the first snap, you might not look back. And, I was sharing this yesterday on Blake's show, but I'll reiterate it here, that sometimes, and this is the kind of scary thing about quarterbacking, sometimes you don't pick the best quarterback and you're still able to win a lot, right? Ohio State did not pick the best quarterback, right? But Dwayne Haskins was still as good as it gets in college. He almost won the Heisman, right? Joe just, took the position to another level. It's impossible to really tell at that time. Cam Newton, Tim Tebow, Kyler Murray, and Kyle Allen. There's so many different, examples of this that you don't always pick the best quarterback, even though 5 to 10 years down the road, it could be clear as day. You just don't know. You just never really know. So Miles could be the guy, go out there day one, and we have to wait until next year to see if any other quarterbacks can play. So, yeah, very good, Rob G. Let's go to Chillmonger. He says, stamp me as the president of the Rookie Card Fan Club. Rookie Card Fan Club. There you go. I know, Ricky Collins. But here's what we're going to do tonight. If you join the PHL T-shirt club tonight, I'm giving away a card that a dear listener, Zane, wanted me to give out on the channel. This is one of my favorite variations of a Jamar Chase rookie card. Bang! Jamar Chase, cracked ice. It's orange to match Jordan's Super Chat. Next person that joins the PHL T-shirt club gets this. Now, I want to shout out a bunch of people, our extra large club. I had to, for some reason, there was a major back order on XL shirts. I appreciate everybody being patient, and they all came in. I'm shipping it out tomorrow. I don't know why that was. I've had all the other sizes, and guess what? I decided to just buy a ton of all the sizes. So any size you want, I got it. Next person, you get Jamar Chase cracked ice rookie card. There you go. Let's see. I'm gonna give some others out tonight as well. Edward O says he's joining next week. All right, Jordan, you get to pick the next super chat. I appreciate your love for the channel. I just love this photo. I gotta show you guys, Jordan. If you hadn't been watching the last few live streams, this is what I want. And I'm sure Jordan is just like this during games. I'm sure he's this calm during games. I love it. I love the old school PHL t-shirt right there. I love it. Jordan's my guy. I freaking love it. Edwardo, it's yours. It's yours if you want it. First person to get the t-shirt tonight, you get the Jamar Chase cracked ice, and you'll get, obviously, everyone that gets a shirt knows that it's not just one card. I send you a ton. So there you go. Bruce says Jayden's going to start the FSU game. Someone will fix all his poor habits he picked up at ASU. He was incredible in high school and his freshman year. ASU ruined his technique. He can be dynamic. Killmonger is a great name. It really is. Taco Tuesday. It was actually lemon pepper chicken wing night 2 for me. Always down for tacos. Larry, good to have you back. Look at you, Larry, cleaned up. Let's go, Larry. Bruce, good to see you. Bruce tagging me in some tweets. I'm famous now. It's hard to get tagged in Bruce Steele's tweets. Sherry, I can't wait. I got a bunch of goodies coming for you in the hubby. Leandria, all you got to do is follow the instructions at the bottom of the screen, the Venmo Cash App instructions. If you have any other questions, actually, we're friends. You have my Twitter at Power Hour LSU or at Carter the Power. Twitter or Instagram, shoot me a message, and I'll get you all squared away. LA Mom's perfect attendance continues. I don't think you've missed a live stream in 7 years. It's been a while. It's been a while. Jordan Palmer, the QB whisperer. But yeah, Jordan, you get to pick the next topic. Speaking of Jordan, and Chillmonger, you go ahead and pick another topic. Go right on ahead. I love me some Justin Fields going into next year. I know his Zane, it's not time yet. Zane, it's not time. Stop. You know it's not time. Okay. LA Mom is here to defend her Presley crown. She has won the Presley thing a few times now. So LA Mom, she was like, okay, we're not quite an hour in. I'm still in perfect pole position here. Rick won it last week. Rick did win it during the last live stream. I love it. Derek Dillon signed by the Browns. An outstanding receiver behind Jason Jefferson. Yeah, they looked at Amari Cooper and they said, "Oh, we can't just have a Bama receiver. We got it. We got to swag it out. We have an LSU receiver to balance it out." Zane says, "I don't have a juice. I don't have a juicer here." Kevin, good to see you. It's time. I don't think that's Garth Brooks. Isn't that Michael Buffer for UFC? It's time. I will say I don't watch much UFC. I will after the live stream though, I did pull up the Nunes Pena fight. That was a great fight. It's good. That's good. LA Mom says I'm going to fight somebody if I don't win the Presley thing. Yeah, John, I'm glad you brought up Derek Dillon. Right. Derek Dillon, you want to talk about underrated plays? Onside kick recovery versus Auburn. I still think about that play all the time. If he doesn't recover that kick, I don't know if we win that game. Right. I don't know. I know it sounds like hyperbole. I don't know. Our entire secondary was banged up. Auburn would have gotten the ball back. They had a good field goal kicker. They just needed 10 yards to get in field goal range. Touchdown to win it, essentially. And Dillon, high football IQ. I'm telling you, that play should be shown in every LSU special teams meeting from now until the end of time. Not giving up on a play. Okay, for those who don't remember, it was a fumbled. They ran a really good play, and the special teams coordinator for Auburn at the time under Gus, I believe, was a former LSU receivers coach. But he called a very interesting play, and it drew Patrick Queen out of his spot, opened up a big alley of space, and there's a lot of traffic, and the ball bounced around, and Derek Dillon just hustled and recovered it. Now, it's not like the most aesthetically pleasing play, but for those that did play football, fumble recoveries can get crazy. It can get very, very crazy. Okay. So that's all there is. I just wanted, I'm glad you brought up Derek Dillon, John Sibley. John Sibley's got that high football IQ. You know this, guys and gals. Bruce is right. Kelly said he would like for Miles to be the starter, but understood. Don't need explaining Jayden starts FSU. Yeah. And that's right, John Sibley, the winning touchdown versus Auburn as well. So back-to-back years, he was the Auburn assassin. Really good stuff. Um, I agree to a certain extent here, um, but I the Vegas odds, the experience, the way that Jayden transferred over, the California workout session, it does make you think Jayden's going to be the guy. It does. But for some reason, my gut is just telling me, wow, this is going to be the first one that runs out there. I don't know why it is, right? I don't know why. Practically speaking, though, Jayden is just so much more experienced than all the other quarterbacks. And honestly, he's more experienced than most college quarterbacks. You can argue he is the most experienced quarterback in the SEC. Now, not playing in the SEC, but just in general, right? Um, and it is strange, right? And Jordan has pounded me about this. Pause, but he has hounded me about this about going to see Jayden's highlights from his freshman year. And there were a few things that really stood out to me about Jayden's freshman highlights. Okay. And I remember when I did my initial eval of him, this always stood out to me is how good he was throwing with a ton of pressure in his face. It seems as if sometimes he's better when there's chaos, right? Instead of there being a super clean pocket where, mechanics are everything. When there's a lot of pressure just running right down the A gap at you, you just got to make a play. Either missing that guy or just getting the football out quick. And Jayden made a lot of those kind of plays as a freshman. Also, the truth is Jayden had the best 1-2 Pac-12 wide receiver combo you'll ever see with Brandon Ayuk and Darby. Now, I know there have been better ones at USC and other big schools, but this is Arizona State, right? That was as good of a wide receiver crew you're going to see at a non-traditional power. And both of those guys are still in the NFL. And, it was a really good offense. So now you can make the case that this has been, well, it has been his best wide receiver core since then. And that wide receiver group was really good. Now, Ricky Pearsall was a good player for them. He's down in Florida. He's going to play a lot for them. So we'll see. Kevin said, it's time for a super sticker. Thank you so much. You and Chillmonger, Rob G, gotta show some love. And shout out to Lyle. He is a winner of, well, not the winner, but you get the Jamar Chase card right there. And this Jamar Chase card is coming from Zane. Zane sent this for me. I have a bunch of giveaways I'm going to give out to you as well. And I wasn't going to include this now, but just out of the kindness of your heart, Lyle. Let me see. Where'd I put this card? Oh, here we go. Lyle, you're getting a Jeremy Hill autograph too. I'll throw it in there for you, Lyle. Congratulations, Lyle. Oh, it's all good, Tyler. I hooked you up, man. It's all good. Got some goodies heading your way. No, Kevin, he probably did. It's time is like a very basic statement. However, it's most widely known in sports by Buffer, right? But I don't care. You can use it whatever you want. Let's see. And there's LGZ. LGZ. Lyle already actually has a PHL t-shirt. So there you go. Yeah, Tyler, you should have an auto in yours. I try and include as many autos as I can. If not, you're gonna get some good stuff. I'm a soul survivor. Yeah. Oh man. I don't know about y'all. So Van tweeted out this clip. And Julie, thank you for the super chat. You get to pick the next topic. Go right on ahead. LA mom. She has like Pressy collection already typed in, ready to press enter. Huh? 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 Oh, LGZ. Okay, shout out. Got it for the girlfriend. It's the best gift to get a girl. I'm telling you. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. But when that time comes, huh? I know a guy. I do. I love it. I'm just kidding. T-shirts. It's good. I did. I love it. I love it. Oh man, that's great. This is so great. Oh, I cracked myself up. Oh man. Oh man. There you go. Okay, thank you so much. Linda joined the PHL T-shirt club. There you go. Congratulations. We got a lot of PHL T-shirt club members. I promise we'll get back into LSU chatter in just a second. While I write this down, can I say something really quickly? So I don't think Van's going to be in here tonight. I hope he does stop by. He's been stopping by a lot. There you go. Trey sent tonight's super chat. Trey wants to talk practice footage for Thursday. Trey says he can't wait for practice footage. I can't either. As someone who looks at this stuff every day, I can't wait. So Van tweeted out this clip earlier today, and who remembers the song? Chevy with the butterfly door. Stunting is a habit. Get like me. Oh man, that song used to get my juices flowing. That music video is great. Have you ever seen a Chevy with the butterfly doors? It's just the greatest. Music has never been better than that. And Van said we peaked as a society after that song. Okay, back to LSU. They report tomorrow and they'll practice on Thursday. Spoke to a player on the team. We're trying to get him on pretty soon. So I'm going to go to Trey's super chat here. Trey says, I'm licking my chops for Thursday's practice footage. I am too. Here's something that I do see a lot, okay? And I call this the Jamar Chase syndrome, okay? They're always blatant overreactions in practice, okay? Blatant. Now, there are some players that you can tell a few things from practice, and it does help your overall evaluation. I totally get that. It's very important, though, to not get carried away with any practice clip. Very important, okay? Now, why is that the case? Well, you saw it happen last year. If you took advantage and still drafted Jamar Chase in all your fantasy leagues, you won. You won. You didn't believe all the practice stuff because you knew how good Jamar Chase actually was, but not the rest of the world. They didn't know that. And the truth is, practices are going to be clunky for some newcomers that are going to be really good football players for us. So it's tough. It's nerve-wracking. It's, it kind of hits you in the mouth a little bit that you are getting ready on Thursday to put pads on for the first time. Okay. And in exactly a month, almost to the day, you're suiting up in essentially an almost winner take all game. That is the cruelty of college football, that every game matters so much. And cruelty is true, but it's also false because it's also the beautiful thing about college football. And it's the thing that they are trying to strip away from us in college football. It's that every mother effing week matters. And I almost said the actual word because I'm very passionate about this. Every single one of you watching this, I would probably say 103 out of 105 of you, college football is your number one sport. Okay. Now I love the EPL. You guys know I love my Liverpool. I love the NBA. I love the NFL. I love it all. I really do. I love mostly all sports. Don't do the hockey thing, but still. Those sports don't have the immediacy of college football. They don't. Every week matters so much. But they play the FCS teams. So what? So what? I don't like the FCS games either, but it helps those schools out, and every game matters so much. It really does. There's a lot of pressure on these players. There's a lot of pressure. Okay? And you're just waiting to put pads on. You're waiting to actually get back. And instead of, and look, it's cool to do these mile per hour drills and these weightlifting drills and all that, but it gets old. You are there to play football. You're there to play football. That's why you're there. That's a game you grew up loving, and a lot of these kids dreaming of playing for LSU football. All right, Chillmonger. Thanks for your generosity tonight, as always. I appreciate that, my man. Linda Young. Linda won our first Presley competition. I ain't never seen a Chevy with a butterfly door. Still the greatest thing. Trey, what's good? After the last two seasons, and that's it too. As fans, we've got to be careful. After the last two seasons, we're going to get all kinds of carried away. We have got to be very careful because we are dying to see a winning football team again. You know what I'm dying for, Trey? There's so many things in college football that are out of your control. And honestly, when you're playing a team like Florida State, they're going to be decent. You're not just going to run them over. You could. I see a scenario where LSU can blow out Florida State. I don't see the other way around happening, but I think it's going to be a close game. I'm just happy that hopefully next year, Rick, thank you for the super chat. Next year, I don't have to see a defense playing man coverage on every snap. That's all I care about. There's so many different things you can do. Just don't play man coverage on every snap. That's all I ask. Don't play man free 2 under. That's all I'm asking. If you do that, that's all Matt House doesn't have to do. Don't play the same defense in the same play every time. Patties. Oh, Liverpool tumbler. Love my Reds. I do. Taco Tuesday in New Mexico is banging. Drive-through spot where they don't speak English. Like one. Oh, you get authentic. Oh, the tacos, man. On those corn tortillas. Ooh. Can't beat it, man. Kevin, you get to pick the next topic. I know you just wanted to say, it's time. Kevin's got that energy. Look at Kevin. I love it. And you got the national championship jersey on. I love it. All right. So this is a good question. Carter, being a stat guy, how often does a team that scores first win? Does LSU score first on FSU? kind of a random thing, right? As far as like who scores first. But I am very, very happy you brought this up, Rick, because there is a misnomer about what actually happened to LSU last year. If you go look, and this blew me away, LSU was actually a really, really, really good first quarter team. I think it was, especially if you take the Kansas State game out, I think LSU either tied or led. I tweeted it out at the time. LSU either tied or led in the first quarter. I think 9 out of their 12 games last year or something like that. Something crazy. So what does that tell you? Well, there's few things that I get 1,000% right. I did a video on this, though, before the season began. I said Ed Orgeron had a major third quarter problem. Major. And I spent a month crunching all the data, looking at win probability, just looking at the raw scores. And if you go look even at the 2019 LSU team, their worst quarter was the third. Okay. If you want to watch that video, it's just a simple thumbnail. It says third quarter on it. It was sometime around this time last year going into the year. And that was one of the few things that I got right. And we were not a good team after the first quarter, because after the first quarter, the game isn't scripted anymore. So for those that don't follow football that closely or don't know coaches or game planning or anything like that, most teams, now obviously a lot of this changes, but a lot of teams script out their first 15 plays, 10, 15, some do 20, but normally it's 15 plays. Okay. So the first quarter is very scripted. You go in with what your game plan was telling you to do. But then in the second and third quarter, the game does tend to become a little bit more situational. There might be an injury that happened. Timeouts come and go. Scores change your situational thinking and all of that. That's when actual coaching really matters. There's a lot of coaches that can put together a great game plan, especially ones that have huge staffs with huge analysts. Where the real talent is are the people that know how to adjust. And there's a difference in kinds of adjustments, right? There's in-game adjustments, and then there are macro adjustments throughout the course of the season, right? An in-game adjustment is, switching quarterbacks, switching your coverage schemes. Obviously, the most famous example of this in recent LSU history was Auburn last year defensively. We tore them up on the first drive. So what Auburn decided to do after that was, well, your offensive line can't run block that good. We're just going to put 3 defensive linemen in the box and 2 linebackers and dare you to run on us. And we're not going to get beat on any more explosive passes. And you saw what happened. Derek Mason outcoached us. That one man. He outcoached us. I'm glad he's out of the SEC now. He went to Oklahoma State. But that was a great adjustment. Then, of course, the Bengals last year in their comeback, and I hate to bring this up, Chris, because you're a big Chiefs fan, they flipped their entire defensive scheme. Instead of playing, too high shell, which is what a lot of teams did versus Kansas City, they played even lighter boxes and dared Kansas City to run the football, but they never did. And Mahomes played the worst second half he's ever played in his career, especially in a big spot. So those are in-game adjustments. And then there are macro adjustments, such as game to game, what do you need to do with your schematic units? And not only with your schematic units, how do you coach them up differently? Do you switch personnel? Is it a message that you're giving? And truth be told, I don't know what could have been done other than just telling Ed Orgeron and Durante Jones or whoever the powers that be were, we can't run the same defensive play every time, which is what we did. It is still most mind-boggling thing. So coming out of the gates in the first quarter, your defensive backs are still going to have enough energy to play man coverage an entire quarter. But if you do it throughout the entire game, they're just going to drag route you to death. So, you know, the truth is, whether you get a fast start or not, Rick, it's going to come down to how well you are at making adjustments. Now, how good is Brian Kelly at making adjustments? Well, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. The issue, and this is, the big, sore for Brian Kelly, is winning the big one. Actually getting over the hump against the elites of the elites. Everything else, though, it's really hard to find big holes in his resume when it comes to winning any type of game. He's won shootouts. He's won close games. He's played games in heavy rainfall. He's played games all throughout the country. So, obviously his experience is going to really help this team out. In your opinion, who's better, Walker or Rickie? So, in the comment section right now, type W for Walker, type R for Rickie Collins. Type W for Walker, type R for Rickie Collins. Chance says just tackle Bo Nix and we win. A lot of truth in that as well. I'm telling you, one good thing about having Harold Perkins on your team is that he can chase a lot of people down that a lot of people normally can't chase down. Hey, there you are, Linda. Good to see you. Short draw whitetail says, I'm going to go R since everyone else is going W. Linda, shoot me an email if you can, powerhourlsu@gmail.com, or an Instagram message or Twitter message at powerhourlsu, and I will get your shirts to you. Thank you so much, Linda, for joining the PHL T-shirt club. And I got some cards I'm going to send you as well. Well, Rickie, very, very good answer. Yeah, I think it's tough to say Tyler because we don't have the senior tape yet. I hate comparing prospects from different classes. I do it sometimes because it's fun, but we just don't have the senior tape yet of Rickie Collins. We just don't. But it's still going to be really hard to do what Walker Howard did at St. Thomas More. Okay. And I do think Walker Howard's senior tape was really good. Really, really, really good. And I go back to that Neville game. That is, I'm telling you, I don't watch a lot of Louisiana high school football. I'm not able to watch a lot of high school football in general. That has to be one of the best high school performances by any Louisiana quarterback ever. It has to be. It has to be. It can't get any better than that. Knowing the situations, the circumstances, the team he was going up against, a team way better than his. And, he found a way to get it done. Walker's better. But who's to say with Rickie, he could have a senior season that's unforgettable. We can't say this for near certainty, though, that Rickie is definitely more potent with his legs. Now, Walker's really fast, though. Like, I've heard confirmed 4.7 from Walker Howard. I've even had somebody close to St. Thomas More says that they've seen sub 4.7, which is really fast. That means you are like a Russell Wilson type of athlete. And Russell's not the same speedster as he used to be, but it's really good. I know, Tyler. It's a good question. I would say Walker, but in fairness, let's see Rickie Senior tape, and you never know. You never know. High school quarterbacking is a very strange thing to evaluate. Okay. A lot of the 5-stars do make it to the NFL, right? Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson. But a lot of the 3 stars, also turn out to be some of the best you'll ever see. Mahomes being one of them. So, yeah, I mean, and Herbert. And then you have middle tier 4 stars like a Burrow. I will say Carver makes a good point here. Ricky does remind you a lot of Ritter, Desmond Ritter. There you go, Linda. Got you locked in. Have you ever seen a Chevy with the butterfly door? Stunting is a habit. Get like me. Where Van gets on here tonight, I'm gonna. It's been all day. It's been all day. He called me today, and I screamed into the phone. I said, "Have you ever seen a Chevy with butterfly doors?" Hmm. Um, is that timeline correct, Chandler? Because Wilson was at NC State first, right? And he was a rookie in 2012, right? So he would have. How long wasn't he at Wisconsin? Only a year? Did he redshirt? I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Was he heavily connected to LSU? I honestly don't remember. I don't. But it's a fun what if. There's a lot of fun Russell Wilson what ifs. I think the best one is, and now this one's kind of crazy, especially knowing what happened today with especially what happened today with the Stephen Ross, Brian Flores stuff coming out today with the Sean Payton and Tom Brady tampering, and then of course, all the other extracurriculars. It's especially spicy knowing this now, right? That Brett Bielema went to Stephen Ross. Bielema was getting interviewed for the he was connected to the Dolphins job, and Bielema interviewed for the Dolphins job. And he told Stephen Ross, he said, "Look, if you take Russell Wilson in the second round of this draft, I'm coming to Miami and we're winning a Super Bowl." Ross said, "No, he's too small. Might be more reasons." uh, and they took Tannehill in the first round. Russell Wilson didn't go to the third. Russell Wilson's been one of the best quarterbacks of the past decade. It's crazy. Now, that's what Bielema claims what happened, that he went to the Dolphins brass and said, "I want this job, but I only take it because, if you take an NFL job, you want to have a good quarterback." But yeah, Russell Wilson's final year at Wisconsin was a movie, right? Him getting the captain's role like 3 weeks into it. That guy is just special. He really is. I've met Russell at the Senior Bowl, and then at the Super Bowl the next year. He remembered me from the Senior Bowl conversation. He had this amazing rookie year with the Seahawks, and the Super Bowl is in New Orleans, and I was working with ESPN Radio for that week. And Russell Wilson, I mean, his mind is just crazy. And his agent, Mark Rogers, was also Paul Manieri's agent at the same time. So yeah, Russell, I've always been a Russell guy, and I hope he does well in Denver. But truth is, I kind of like all those quarterbacks in Denver. I think Derek Carr is a little underrated. Herbie's just fun to watch. Obviously, Herbie being in the same class as Burrow, it's kind of hard to just like love both of them. But, I'm fine with Herbie. And Mahomes. Kind of hard to hate Mahomes or Lamar because we beat both of them. Huh? How many teams could say that they beat both of them? Not many. Russell Wilson, man. To show if you work really hard, you can marry Sierra. Right? You can marry Sierra. That's the key, fellas. You just got to go out there and win a Super Bowl. Go to a lot of Pro Bowls. Hit the like button. Tell them, Dex. Tell them. Tyler, really good super chat. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know one way you can impress Sierra. Now, it'd make Russell pretty mad, but there is something you could do if you really wanted to shoot your shot at Sierra. Now, what could that one thing be? I don't know. What could that one thing be? Boom! Okay, Rick, you're a past winner. Tony, quick. He's quick. Love it. Ever bring the baby? Yeah. Pressy Collection and PressyCollection.com. There you go, LA mom. Dang music. You see, you gotta get on their level. Pressy Collection, PressyCollection.com. I don't think I'd want to sing to Sierra, who has an amazing voice. But what you could do is go to PressyCollection.com. So past champions congratulating Tony. Good job, Tony. Now I'm going to show you my engagement ring. Bang! Bang! Look at that smile on my dear beloved hey. Pressy Collection, PressyCollection.com. But it's not just engagement rings. It's pretty much everything you can think of, jewelry-wise. Hit me up. I'll get you a one-on-one consultation today. If you're thinking about a special question, I'm telling you, just hit me up. PressyCollection.com. Oh, that's true, Chandler. That's true. I went to a couple games. There you go. See, answer to the poll question. Hey, Walker Howard has got some fans. I saw that. Good for TJ. I'm happy. I'm happy for TJ. Yeah, that's true, Edwardo. That's true. It's true. You coming in? Come on in. Somebody wants to say hi to you. There she is. And look, you got your pressy ring on. Look at you. Huh? Come here, bud. See you for a second. You just got groomed today.
She did. She just got a bath.
And should he?
Oh.
Look at you.
I was talking to your mom for like an hour.
Good. Everybody say bye. She's going night-night. Pressy Collection, PressyCollection.com. There you go. That's all I got to do. Hey, I'm always happy for any player getting an ideal.
Look at the baby.
Look at Edward O. Best thing he did was impress Haley.
Aw.
Hey.
Hey, Jared.
J Red.
God, this hair, y'all don't look at it. I'm getting my roots done this week. My sister has a hair salon here, but you wouldn't know it because my hair.
Have you ever seen the Chevy with the butterfly
Look at
doors?
Z sitting on you like that, bub. Mama, you love Daddy? You love Daddy?
There's Rick. Rick just celebrated.
Hey,
Rick's in Nashville. Just celebrated a big Annie Wanny.
Nice. We're out in Nashville.
He told me when I talked to him a few weeks ago.
I went to MTSU. Go Blue Raiders.
I ain't never seen a Chevy with the butterfly doors. Stunting is
Look
a
at her
habit.
looking right at the camera, bub.
All right, so you saw this in the actual.
No, I want to know where Rick lives. I lived in Brentwood. I lived off of White Ridge Road. I know it was sketchy.
Franklin.
Okay. All right. Nice.
Let's go, Franklin.
I lived in Nashville for 8 years, man.
Also the name of a famous turtle.
Hey, it's Franklin. Franklin, Cool Springs.
All right. So what is the most important SEC game in, well, that's 2016 schedule. Let's pull up. It's year 2022, right? Most important SEC games on the schedule in the first 8 weeks is.
Oh.
Let me know.
She's looking at your ear, Papa.
Best, most important SEC game. Oh, look, Ron Brooks just stopped in.
Who?
Ron. Remember we talked to him before the chat.
Oh, nice.
There's Ron. Former PHL guest Ron. Ron, you want to see the dog?
Hey, Sissy.
Let's show Ron our dog.
He's a baby.
Look at that.
I love her so much.
We got to put Ron's whip back up.
Look at that rock, that Presley rock.
Tell you, there you are.
Yeah.
There's Ron's whip right there. Look at that.
Oh, can he come pick me up?
Hello.
Ron, I am dead. Serious.
I can go down and go see him in BR. Go riding that whip.
Is he in BR?
Yeah.
Stop. What is that?
Ron said.
What is that?
Well, that's his whip.
No, what is it? What kind of, Ron, can you tell me what kind of car it is? It's not a Maz. What is that?
What's it called, Ron?
Can I get a brand? I'm a makeup guru. I'm not a car guru. What is that?
It's a Batmobile with the red trim.
I'm finna tell you. Is that a Porsche? No, it's not a Porsche. There's no way.
No, that's not what he was saying. That's not what
No. Edward.
Oh.
I'm literally reading Edwards.
It's a Vador body kit.
I don't know Vador. I don't subscribe to Vador.
It's a cool whip. He still got it.
Bro, that is so sick. Is it a stick shift or an automatic?
Speaking of Sierra, automatic, supersonic, hypnotic, funky, fresh.
Work my body so melodic.
I'll tell you, 90s, 2000s.
Is that a Stang?
Auto.
I don't know what that is.
Ron, we don't know.
Ron, I need a little more specifics, baby.
Ron, we only have one car, so I'm jealous right now.
Look at the baby. Do y'all see the baby?
No, Ron's vehicle is up.
Okay, they can't see the baby.
All right.
Sorry, I don't have The hair, the roots aren't done. It's a hot mess over here.
Speaking of Auburn, Ron knows how to beat Auburn. Ron played his best
Look at
versus
that.
Auburn.
Look at that. Mama, look at Daddy.
Infinity.
It's an Infinity G3. I know that. Okay. Look at the mama. Y'all look at that.
Mm-hmm.
The baby. Do it.
Like
the baby.
She's getting like books. She's good on camera now. She's getting better.
R.I.P. my name's upon. I had a bad booger night last night. Tell him.
I'll put a photo of her up real quick.
Right now? Of an angel?
There she is.
Oh, my baby.
There's a baby. Rest in peace, her beautiful soul. Look at these photos.
There's your sister. There's your sister, baby.
Look at that.
Get it, Carter, now.
I got it. I can go back and screenshot it. That's good. That was an emotional moment for a lot of people. It was for me. I miss
it was for me. She was my dog before she was ever your dog.
That's true.
I love you.
You too, baby. Ron put a lot of work into that vehicle, and I was so happy to have him on to talk about it. That was fun. Good times. But yeah, had a rough booger week. It's whenever you lose your dog, it's been over a year, but you guys and gals know how big the bug was for all of us. So, most important game in the first 5 weeks. Ron, that's our topic right now. You know a thing or two about getting the job done versus Auburn. I would agree. I would say that first road game in Auburn, obviously, one game at a time. We all know that. But I think LSU will be fine versus Mississippi State at home. Obviously, there's going to be some extra moolah and focus on this game because there were a lot of players on this team, including B.J. Ojolari and Jaquelin Roy, who got snaps in that Mississippi State beatdown a few years ago. Jay Ward as well. Don't you think that they're going to be a little bit amped up to not get thrown all over again in their home field? Okay. I don't think if you lose the Auburn game, it's over by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think so. Now it is if you lose to Mississippi State or Florida State. The season's over if that's the case. When you lose that second game, it does sink the sails pretty crazy. But yeah, I think for me, I do think though the Auburn game is the biggest. I hate that Tennessee spot though. You guys know how much I like Tennessee going into next year. I hate that spot for LSU. I really, really, really do. Florida State game, yeah, it is key. It's so key, right? Even though it's not conference, it's huge. Got a few guys used to play with. They went there. And that's the thing as well. Like, you're going into the Florida State game. It's kind of strange because your head coach is so much more familiar with that team than the rest of the team is, right? Normally, when you go to a new job, you're playing all teams that the school is more familiar with than you are. Here, the role is reversed. And something else, I'm glad Ron brought up Florida State game. It's also one of those things where Florida State has a week 0 game, and we don't. So Florida State does play the week before we do. Okay? Only one team in the SEC plays a week 0 game, and that is Vanderbilt. Florida State game is so huge, though. And honestly, that is the biggest game. That is the biggest game. I hope you're right, music. I think Tennessee's really good. I'm saying it every live stream because I just truly believe it. Semantic says, wait, is that the Ron Brooks? Man, you missed one of the funnest interviews. I mean, all our interviews have been, I will say, all our guests have been amazing. Go back and watch it, Semantics. There's a lot of fun stuff discussed during the Ron Brooks conversation, reminiscing about the 2011 team. That team was so much fun. But yeah, the first game is obviously the most important. We got to do it again soon. So yeah, Semantics, if you want to go rewatch it, you can find it. It's under surprise guest. Ron, I forgot about this during the game that you guys wrote TM7 on your arms. You guys see that? God, this pick six was so iconic, man. I know Ron's my guy, but still. Look at the focus right here. Look at that, Ron. You'll love it. You got 24 on the right arm. I guess that's for Daryl Simon. And on the left arm, you got TM7. I totally forgot about that. But every time I think about 2011, these uniforms, type Y for yes, type N for no. Is this your favorite LSU alternate uniform? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Ron, this uniform is cold-blooded. I hope they let you keep that uniform, because that uniform combo is so cold-blooded. I liked it better. I love the 2018 joint that we wore. I love the 2018 joints that we wore versus Mississippi State. I also loved the Koshan Delay alternate uniforms we wore versus Arkansas, where Chad Jones beheaded a human being. Rob said this is his favorite. Ron, I know this is your favorite. Dude, these are just so cold, man. Ron's got it all. He's got the ankle, he's got the wrist tape, the gloves, mouthpiece, the focus. The aesthetic here is just insane, man. I love it. It's just so good. You got every single one of us remembers this Auburn game. We beat the brakes off of them. The brakes. Obviously, the most iconic play. This was one of them, but Jarvis Landry beheading that guy is still one of the most memorable things. And it was kind of a damp day. It was overcast. Yeah, it is a more traditional, like, gold uniform. That's crazy. What an iconic uniform. Oh no, Mark, one of our Auburn fans that watches the channel is like, oh, this one? Mark says, why aren't you? Mark was probably like, hey, I remember early when you were talking about the Auburn game from last year. Whatever happened to that one? It's just nuts, though, that I remember this game so vividly. And it's just crazy that this game, 2011, it's nuts. Over a decade ago. Crazy. These are kind of clean as well. The golden helmet. My God. And it was cold that night too. Can you imagine getting hit that hard in the cold? Look at that. Unbelievable. What a day. Iconic hit. Iconic. Chad Jones. I mean, that you really felt for that human being, man. I really thought that they were going to bring out the caution tape and chalk outline Joe Adams. And the funny thing about it was, like, Chad Jones and Joe Adams were basically the same exact player in college, right? They played different positions, but both were deadly punt returners. Joe Adams for Arkansas is one of the best punt returners I have ever seen. His punt return versus Tennessee is still the most insane. It's probably, I mean, obviously my personal favorite punt returns are all by LSU players, but Joe Adams' punt return versus Tennessee is like Dante Hall mixed with Devin Hester. It was that crazy. It's nuts. So Joe Adams was like Chad Jones, right? A really, really good college player. And, you know, obviously Chad had the car accident. And I don't know why Joe Adams didn't work out in the NFL. Joe Adams could really play, though. But I love both of these guys. These are two of my favorite SEC players. They're both guys that if you were fans of the SEC, you know who they are, right? But if you're not like a diehard college football fan, you probably don't know a whole lot about them. Icon, man. Smash that like button like Chad Jones. I love it. Hey, Jason, we're all here for you, man. It's all good, Dan. We all go through some stuff in life. We know that. Let's see. I sometimes have to clear some photos out here for space. There you are. I always love this photo, Jason. Always here for you, brother. Look at that. See what you get in the PHL swag. Sometimes I'll throw some extra goodies in there for Jason. I threw in a lot there because he's my guy. There he is. So there you go. Most important SEC game, though, outside of the, even though it's not an SEC game, obviously outside of Florida State, I would say that Auburn game is going to be very key. Jacoby Stevens hit versus Amari Rodgers. Yeah, and what makes that hit very interesting, Chance, is that, back then in the Chad Jones era, there wasn't any targeting, right? Jacoby, when you hit somebody that hard and it be clean, it's hard. Akon and LGZ. Gotta make it easy. There's Michael B showing Jason some love. There's Jared showing Jason some love. There you go. World Series champ Chad Jones. Chad Jones' is biggest fan. William couldn't make it tonight. Every time I talk to him, he's one of our patrons, Williams. He just talks about Chad Jones as like his by far favorite player. Billy, good to see you. And yeah, we're coming up on that time. This has been a fun live stream. But we are drawing towards the end. So here's what we're going to do. In the next 5 minutes, I will answer as many LSU questions as I possibly can. Okay? There's only so much time. But I will go all the way up until 2 in the morning if you keep the super chats flowing along. If not, we will, skedaddle. So Kenneth wants to talk Kylan Jackson here at the end. I'm down to talk some Kylan Jackson. What happened here? Kalen Jackson, since I did a full video on this young man on Monday. No, I'm trying to. Why wouldn't that pop up? I had it. Okay. But why wouldn't that? Wait, why would. I've never seen my phone do this. Oh, that is so strange. That is so strange. That is so strange for me. Wow. Okay. Okay, that's so wild. Lexus LC 500. Look at you, John Sibley. Oh, there you go, Billy. Congratulations on the new crib, man. No, it's too complicated to explain. I'm really blown away by this. Sometimes I love technology, sometimes I hate it. I really, really do. Progress of the team we'll see on Thursday, first practice, but everything is going according to the plan, right? No big injuries. That's all you can hope for at this point. So, yeah. But yeah, Colin Jackson, I think he's going to commit to LSU on Monday. I do. I think you should feel pretty good about that. Asheville on the Buckets watch list. Will he even start? Well, the good thing about linebackers is that you can kind of work your way in, right? Mike Jones is obviously going to be one of the guys. The question is, can Baskerville outperform Greg Penn from now until the start of the season? And the answer to that is obviously yes. Greg Penn is far from a 100,000% surefire thing. So you should feel pretty comfortable about that. You should. So Baskerville and Penn are both going to play a lot. I think that's going to be your three main linebackers next year. But Kobe Fields, Wes Weeks are going to have a lot to say about that. And then, of course, Harold Perkins as well. So there you go. Of course, Tony, we're still going. Did a next 5 minute, though, thingamabobber. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, LaRon Landry's hits. You can't forget that. Good to see you tonight, JJ. Oh, excellent problem to have, Kevin. And thank you for your super chat earlier. I'm still blown away by what's happened to my phone. It's so weird. Let's see. I got to get up and do, thank you, Tony. I got to get up and do radio in the morning. So I got to make sure I have these alarms set. I'm doing some fill-in radio work in South Carolina. There we go. Okay. Tony wants to talk defense. And it could just be the updates for me. I can't wait to see what type of defense we'll have, or multiple types. I feel as if this is a good question. I think one of the biggest questions that I see as far as LSU is concerned is how exactly will the fronts actually line up? And that is the most important question you have to ask yourself as a defense. Are you going to go odd front, or are you going to go even front? And I think this is what they're going to do, right? Run BJ as a standing outside linebacker, but honestly play more of a 4-man principle than a 3-man principle. As in, you're not playing the Dave Aranda tight front. Okay. Now, KMC says, let's do what they do at Mississippi State, Zach Arnett. Run the odd 3-3-5 stack. The issue with that is good teams figure that out pretty quickly. It's hard to run the 3-3-5 at a high level. It's just really hard. Now, Dave Aranda would do some 3-3 stacks. But the 3-3-5 is really tough to block. It's kind of like the option. If you're not used to playing it, it could be really hard to block. Got to show PHL some love, but I have to slow down my super chats. Look at my bank statement and dang. Yeah, look, if anyone knows this, it's me. My super chats did slow down once inflation started really happening. And that's all there is to it. Like I wasn't mad about it though. Like I do this, it is my job, and the super chats do, pay my bills. But honestly, I get to do this. It's fun getting to do this, right? So yeah, it's all good, Michael B. Most important thing is that you're here. You're such a great viewer. You really are. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited for the upcoming season. Good to see you, Creek. So we'll keep it going. Creek just jumped in. If Creek jumps in, the party's just not getting started. The party's just getting started. It is nuts. Like, for me, type Y for yes, type N for no. The thing that excites you the most about this season is not actually LSU football, but that LSU football is under new direction, right? Because we always get excited about LSU football. But do you feel a different type of way about going into this season with new direction? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Yeah, I forgot. Creek's little dog is able to go to Tiger Stadium, as you can see in the photo. A lot of you are just excited to see the new direction, more so than just the fact that LSU football's being played. There you go. A lot of you were new management. I like to go counter, and it does seem that a lot of us are in agreement tonight. The Walker Howard question from earlier, and now this one. But I agree. It's the new aspect of this. I've shared this before. I'm lucky to know people that have coached at different levels, and I would send them. And, they're busy coaching their own thing, whatever. But I would ask them during their free time to tell me what LSU is doing defensively, and they'd be like, "I have no idea. I've never seen anything like this before." And I would just reiterate. They would all say the same thing. They're playing the same play every time. And I know I've said it a million times over. It is still the craziest thing to me. And I'm so excited that I don't have to see that again. Right? It really, really, really does help. Yeah. I love this comment. Mike doesn't know what a super chat is. We'll keep it that way. Huh? Hey, whatever. I'm fine with that. do appreciate you being such a great viewer. You got a really good football mind. Billy says, I'm moving in a new crib for this new season. Let's go, Billy. Moving up. I like it. I like seeing PHLers win. It's one of my favorite things. So Creek wants to know, should we bring back a throwback helmet? So Creek says, look, to show we are truly tougher than Alabama, we need to go way back in the 20s, the Jim Thorpe era. We need to show up versus Alabama in leather helmets. Let's go. Nick Saban wouldn't want to deal with Mason Smith in a leather helmet. If we walked out in leather helmets, they would not be ready for us. They would not be ready for us. I'd be kind of interested, though, to see a leather helmet football league. So good. Numbers on helmet. Oh, the numbers on the helmet. There you go. I see that. That's good. That's really good. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm 256. Exactly, Jared. One way to prevent targeting is leather helmets. Ain't nothing like it, Creek. So, Creek, are you going to the Southern game this year? Are you going to the first home game? But you know, like LSU's got like an amazing product. Like it's it's so good. That people are willing to sit in some of the worst traffic known to mankind. So Baton Rouge as a traffic city is brutal, right? But like what makes it even more brutal is after game traffic. It could be so bad. Like I don't know. I don't. For me, Tennessee game. So you want to know why that is, Edwardo? Is that's always the case every other year. So it would be, now obviously it's going to change with the super conferences, but every even number year, the tickets for the non Florida SEC East game, and Florida tickets are always high as well, but that ticket's always going to be very high because if you're in your 50s and you're a Tennessee fan and you've always wanted to go to Tiger Stadium, that's the only game you can go to within this time in the next 12 years, right? Like our last game played versus Tennessee in Tiger Stadium was 2010. And the way that a lot of you know how it works, but if you don't, I'll be happy to explain it. The way the cross division rivals schedule works, you only play Tennessee once every 6 years and once every 12 years in Tiger Stadium, or once every 12 years in Knoxville, right? So Tennessee fans, which a lot of them are diehard college football fans, the game that they're going to pick to go to is the LSU game. If there's a road game they're going to pick, especially now that they have a really good team. So a lot of Tennessee fans are saying, F it, I want to go to Tiger Stadium anyway. And also we have a really good team and we're coming off a bye week as well. I want to make this bucket list trip to Tiger Stadium. In 2018, there were so many Georgia fans in that building when we beat them because Georgia's the same way. Huge college football diehard fan base. Georgia's not going to be in that building until what, 2029? Yeah, 2029. But that's obviously going to change when the schedules are going to have to change. After a loss, it's absolutely worse. Most people leave in fourth quarter to beat traffic and stadium is sparse. Don't get talked about enough. The LSU Saturday night advantage is only real like two times a year. I'm trying to think of the best way to answer this. I guess for me, as far as this is concerned, yeah, the traffic is really, really, really bad. It's really bad. And I've been lucky to go to a fair amount of stadiums. I don't think I'll ever like go to as many college football games as I used to, but yeah, it's hellacious. It really, really is. I don't know what you can do to fix it. I really don't. Um, one thing you can do, and I think it's part of the reason why RVs are so popular is like, why not just crash, stay the night? Now I don't know. Actually, I don't know the answer to this. Are RVs allowed to stay, or do they have to go after the game? I don't know. Hey, a creek. Not a lot of people know about that new roads, baby. Huh? 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 That new road shortcut, baby. So Jared does go to a lot of games, and I've been lucky to go to a lot of LSU games, but a lot of them were in like media capacity. So I would be leaving so late, like an hour and a half after the game has ended, sometimes 2 or 3 hours after a game has ended. And um and there would still be some traffic sometimes. It wouldn't be that bad, honestly. I just don't know if there's anything you could do about it. It's mostly one lane roads, pretty much every which way around the stadium. I don't think there's anything you do about it. I just don't. It's not like New Orleans where I-10's right there, and parking is like sparsed out, and there's so many different back ways you can go in and out. And let's be honest, while the traffic is hellacious, it is 7 times out of the year, right? So, I don't think it's like I do think it's bad, but I just, it's not something like awful, awful, awful. And also, I know this isn't going to be a popular opinion. Cody, good to see you. Cody's always rocking the PHL gear. But number one, it's still worth it. Number two, I'm just trying the best way to phrase this. Oh, this is what I was going to say. I kind of blanked out. Number two, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I prefer day games. I do, because of the traffic. Now, I know we all want Saturday night in Death Valley, but if you do get a 2:30 game in November, you're going to get a night game anyway, right? Because of the sunset and all that stuff. But I don't know. It's crazy. Well, I'll answer as many questions here at the end. Good to see Johnny Five and Cody. Some PHL OGs. They've been with me for a while. Oh, Jason, we're staying up all night. Yeah, Creek. Here's what I would say, as far as like the traffic. It honestly comes down to your experience. Like, if there is only one game at LSU, and you can only go to one game, and it's your first game, it's worth sitting in the traffic, right? Just sit in it. Just sit in it and bite the bullet and live to see another day. Is it gonna take an hour and a half, 2 hours? It might. It might. But it's part of it. 11 a.m. kickoffs are the devil. True, it doesn't feel right in Tiger Stadium. Part of it isn't just like LSU fans. It's also just like, honestly, the national media. Everyone always talks about in the national media, and it's obviously in a positive light, Saturday night in Death Valley. That's the best thing to do. It's just set up and wait for it to clear. I mean, you're not going anywhere. There's no helicopter, magic carpet, anything that's going to help you. But you're all right if you win. It flies by. That's all there is to it. If it wins, you fly by. All right, Mom. We'll see you Thursday. Yeah, Creek. I went to that game. You and I weren't probably sitting that far from each other. I was sitting in the purple end zone as well. We've been leaving the car at the hotel and Uber to stadiums for away games. Problem with that is waiting for them to pick you up after. Yeah, I don't go to enough away games. Oh, you sat right above the Welcome to Death Valley. Okay, we're in the level below you. I heard those seats are amazing, right there in that Welcome to Death Valley. Yeah, the Uber thing can get crazy, especially considering like they surged their prices towards towards the end. It's nuts. Well, all right, all you cool cats and kittens. Another fun live stream. I want to shout out some new PHL T-shirt club members. Shout out to Linda. Shout out to LGZ's dear beloved girlfriend. They are new to the PHL T-shirt club. Congratulations to both of you. And yeah, another fun live stream in the books. I'll be up if you want to listen. The Fan Upstate in South Carolina. Pretty excited about that. We'll be on tomorrow morning. It is Power Hour LSU Bomb. And tonight, lemon pepper chicken wings. Night 2. Let's go. Wait, what parking pass? I know the chat will end in a second. I'll let Jared get this question answered. I'll be chatting in the Discord for a little bit as well. Oh, for home games. Okay. Perfect. Okay, we got that taken care of. Yeah. Let's go. Shelton Sampson, Colin Jackson, Ricky Collins all in the same week. Let's go.